Oh. Hi. All right. Hello. Good evening, individuals. I do apologize, man. I'm over here setting this stuff up, but I want to talk about something. Jump right into this thing. I want to talk about. I want to talk about something tonight. Appreciate you guys for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, Individuals, by all means, do tell a friend about this thing that I'm doing. I'm going to talk about something tonight. People, I have a friend of mine, and that friend of mine hasn't seen his daughter since the first week of, since the week prior to Christmas. Okay. Um, he hasn't seen his daughter the week prior to Christmas. The week before Christmas was the last time he seen his child. And the reason why um, he had not seen his child since, and today we are now at February the 7th. I'm sorry, we're now at February the 8th, 2021. He had not seen his daughter the week prior to Christmas. Is because the world just don't believe in dysfunctional women. The world will find a way to flip the script. Women themselves are great at flipping the script. You can tell them something today, they'll say, okay, and then they'll be insistent on something else, and then say, okay, now that's the new problem. Never mind what you said. So I'm going to talk about mother's approval. I'm going to talk about mother's approval. You're not a father until you get the mother's approval. So, what exactly? Let's talk about the word approval for a second. Um, Approval is when you want something that is a non entitlement and you go before a committee, they rate you, you submit information, and they see if you qualify for that. If I can give you an example, if you apply for some credit, you apply for credit by way of your name, date of birth, and your social security. And what they're going to do with that is they're going to check your credit history. Depending on what you're trying to get, they'll make their decision or not. Most people, a logical person will apply for something within their reach. Okay, so I don't have to say that. But if you apply for a Rolls Royce and you work at McDonald's, you will not get approved for that loan. People, you're looking at a very successful man, and I did not qualify under Atia LaShawn Bradley standards, I did not qualify to be a father. I didn't. And this is the way that fathers got to look at it. This is the way you got to look at things in order to understand it. Like I said, I only take things of other worlds and present them to you and make them in parallel. You'll understand it if I say it that way, but it's right in front of you this way and you didn't understand it. Now I need y'all to follow me. Appreciate those thumbs up. I'm talking about mother's approval. Now, I just gave you the definition on approval. Now I'm going to give you an example of what my friend is going through, and I'm not going to say his name. The woman, the child's mom, had her own apartment, lost that about 2 years ago. She went to go then move with her mother. Her mother said, "Oh no," then kicked her out. She went to go live with her sister. Her sister said, "Oh, double no," and then she moved back with her mother. And now I don't know her living conditions. Oh, she lived with the mother though. I don't know if she's restricted to an area. That's what I'm talking about. My friend, very successful individual, homeowner, and worked for the Department of Corrections. He doesn't qualify under the mother's standards. He doesn't qualify to be a father. What other way can you put this under perspective? But I just thought of something when I say that the mother's approval, you won't be a father without it. I should go ahead and go sidebar for a second. And my sidebar that I'm going to go is say this. A lot of you fathers, you go to court and you play the court's game. If I can give you an example, I'm going to use me for an example. When I first put in for custody, they didn't give me overnights. I owned a house, and the Atia LaShawn Bradley was sleeping on the couch. The reason why that will never ever happen to me again, or nor will it happen to my clients, is because I now know that when you go to court, you're not fighting to be a father. You're fighting the character that the woman told the courts about you. You're fighting the fact that they were told you can't wipe your behind without instructions. Your doorknob got instructions, turn and pull toward you, or turn and push away from you. Your faucets got instructions on them. Turn knob into clear fluid come out of nozzle. H means that the water will be at a hotter temperature. C means the water will be at a cooler temperature. You're fighting that. That is the court's depiction of you. So you got to understand when you go to court the questions that you need to ask so that you don't be fighting character assassination. Because when you go to court, what they say is, we are here for the best interest of the child. And you're going to have to excuse me. In the world of testosterone, a child and a mother sleeping on a couch, when that child had their own room and their own bed with the father, is not in the best interest of the child. It's not. So you got to understand the perspective and the narrative when you go to court. You have to understand. A lot of individuals go to court, and what ultimately end up happening is you lose track on what's going on because women are masters at deception, they are masters at deflection, and they are masters at trying to switch the narrative. You can tell them, hey, listen, I'm not going to do this until then. And then they'll do 50 million things before that and expect you to change and then say, oh, okay, so that's how you want to be. When in fact, well, hold on, Tootsie, I said this before you started with all these shenanigans. Okay? So what ultimately end up happening is fathers end up going to court not fighting to be a father. You end up going to court fighting because they were told you need instructions on how to use the toilet. Okay? So, if you understand that narrative, you will not, and I mean you will not get caught up in that rapture. All right? But I'm talking about mother's approval. And I'm talking about mother's approval because that is the number one thing that fathers go through. People, I'm going to tell you something. Parenting changes. Let me do this. So I'm going to say this. I can't stand when my cameras go off. I really can't. I can't stand when my cameras go off. My cameras pick up motion or movement. I can't stand that. You hear something outside, then one of your cameras go off. All right. All right. So um, I'm gonna say this. Here's something that needs to be understood concerning parenting. People, parenting changes every 3.5 to 4, definitely every 5 years. It changes. From 1 to 5, there's a nurturing period. From like 6 to 10, that child needs to be talked to from the perspective of comprehension and understanding. Well, comprehending. So for example, from 6 to 10, you might not want to talk to that child like it's a baby anymore. Between the ages of 6 to 10, definitely after the age of 10, definitely after the age of 8 or whatever, that child can be talked to from the perspective of sit down, son, sit down, daughter, sit down, children. We need to talk. Nobody don't understand this perspective more than a woman. A woman thinks that being a good mother means that, let me use me again for an example, myself and Atia LaShawn Bradley. Once again, I'm talking about a mother's approval. You will not be declared a father without it. One day, Atia LaShawn, daughter Bradley, and myself, my used to be daughter, we were out and about. And we were out and about, and I purchased a jacket. because Atia LaShawn Bradley, I couldn't done nothing right by her child. Every time I did something, I got interrogated. So when I brought her daughter a jacket and I dropped her off, I got asked 50 questions about the jacket. When I tell you that, give me a second. Deja vu. Deja vu. When I tell you that I had enough of stupidity out of convenience, you have no idea. People, I'm the one that tells you, I used to tell you if you talk to them for over 5 minutes, get your head examined. I dropped that to 45 seconds. Remember? Let me tell you why. It is amazing how in 5 minutes a script can be flipped 30 times. Deja vu. People, you know why I insist on constantly gurgitating what I went through with my family? I said it numerous times, but individuals just don't remember. So allow me. People, I didn't realize my mom hated the fact that I get up here and I educate men, fathers, and help black men with my intellect understand their position and how we are hated by our women. Wow, I was told today that I hate somebody. Um, but Miss Ali tells us in the book. But my mom, I'm gonna give you an example of what my mom told me, and then my mom changed it when I realized my mom hated me. And when I say hate, I mean real, not just because I said something individuals don't want to listen. Um, my mom told me that she found out who her father was 6 years after he died, because my grandmother, being the great queen black woman that she was, she never told my mom who her father was. And when I used to hear the story all my life coming up, I had no problem with it. Then as I got older and went through this stuff that I went through with Atia LaShawn Bradley, I then started to realize the role that women play in negative and on the grand scale that they play it on. So the story went like this. My father never was around. My father didn't do this. My father, my father, my father. And but then I questioned my mom, and what happens is when you question women on logical things, um, something amazing happens. So um, my mom never knew his name. So I imposed to my mom this question. I said, "Ma, you know, all my life I listened to the story about how your dad wasn't there, but something just don't make sense because I fought to be a father, and I fought, and now I understand how um, women could be." And it always starts off intellect until they hear what it is you got to say. And then I said, "Explain to me this, mother." I said, "You were never told who your dad was. You were never told your father's name." I said, "Ma, if your father really wasn't around, your mother would have told you his name. By the mere fact your mother never told you his name means your father was around." I ran that scenario around about 15, 12 to 15 women, and all of them said, that makes sense. That's about right. I ran it across my brother. He said, wow, wow. He wowed 50 million times and said, you know, and then started telling me about my grandmother because he was older than me and he's seen it nonetheless. But then When I realized my mom hated me because you just can't stand on any morals with women you call women. You can't you gotta say, hey, I'm not gonna do this, and then they say, no, I'm gonna ask you, and then you're gonna change what you said because nobody makes a liar out of me. I say what I mean what I said. Like the great Sister Shalakemia says, I said what I said. But then when I realized my mom hated me for speaking truth, my mom then said, I never ever told you that. I said, yes, you did. You told me that story as I was coming. No, I didn't. She said it in an attitude way. And then in 2019, I played all those conversations back because people, I'm gonna tell you something about animosity. All right. I'll tell you something about animosity. Let me go left for a second. People, I'm gonna tell you something. Men were not allowed to stand on anything. We're not allowed. It's against uh, the black community's rule. Black men, we got to be open to anything. We can't stand on anything. We supposed to when a woman says something, it's just supposed to be okay, dear. Okay. And when you are not respected, for example, if I say I'm not going to that bar. I don't like that bar. Too many thugs hang out at that bar. I'm not going to that bar. Friday, let's pick somewhere else to go. I'm not going to that bar. If you say that on Monday, you know what's going to happen Thursday? Thursday it's going to be, let's meet at the bar. Let's meet at that bar. I told you I'm not going to go there. I told you I'm not going to go there. I don't want to go to that bar. Let's go to that bar. I want to go to that bar because all my friends. And then when you stand on the fact you don't want to go to that bar, people got shot in that bar. It's a bar, for crying out loud. Blah 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 blah. And then it's you don't want to go to that. Then what the woman is going to say is, okay. You know what okay means? It means, oh, I'm gonna get you back, nigga. So people, I'm gonna tell you when it comes to animosity. You know why I have no problem with anybody? You know why I have no problem with anybody? Because I tell them how I feel about them. I don't hold nothing back. I don't hold nothing back. People ain't built like that though. People like to be like, oh, okay. And to me, that means you're declaring war on me. And that's never a good idea to go on war with me. People, I'm gonna tell you something. I will protect my mindset at all costs. First, I will give a fuck about nothing or nobody else. I will protect my mindset first. I don't play them dumb, goofy fucking games. I will protect my mindset. I've been down that road before with a woman, and my life went south. You will love me. We will stop with all these dumb games. I will be listened to. I will be you will honor the ground I walk on or get the fuck on. I don't do animosity. People, I've done everything right in life. I have morals. I've done everything right. I don't need to have animosity towards nobody. My mom, I don't know why she feel about me the way she feel. But guess what? She knows how I feel about her feeling the way she feel about me. But I don't know why she feel about me. My brother, guess what? I don't know why he didn't invite me and my other brother to my dad's funeral. But guess what? By doing that, he knows how I feel about him. My oldest brother, I mean, dude can pick up the phone and call me tomorrow if he want to. I just fuck with him, but he knows how I feel about him. you will call me up and watch your mouth. But everybody knows how Chris feels. I get these little, okay. I get those. I get the, okay. I get the animosity starters. I need to leave my mom's phone number around for people and my brother's phone number around people, because when people want to have animosity towards me, I need to call them people and say, can I use that for references? I got another cat, dude that I was friends with in the military. He got animosity towards me. Yeah, he's on my radar. I have no problem with people that got animosity towards me on my radar. My radar system, state of the art. Promise you. I want no problems. I just want love. I just want love. And in saying that, nobody's gonna make a liar out of me. Nobody. Now let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna go left for a second. I'm gonna go left for a second because we talking about something tonight. I'm gonna go left for a second. I had a friend of mine tell me something. He was saying it for years now, right? He would tell me, he say, you keep an honest man honest. I heard him saying that for about 15 years. Finally, last year, I said, man, what do you mean by that? Keep an honest man honest. And he said, Smitty, I'm not a thief, but that don't mean you can leave $1 million in front of me and don't think I'm gonna take it. So keep an honest man honest. I'm honest, but don't leave $1 million in front of me and walk away. I said, wow. What he's saying is, I may be tempted. So how about you keep me honest by not doing that? Now I need y'all to follow me. I have a friend of mine, the one that I told y'all about. There's a reason why that individual haven't seen his daughter since a week before Christmas. You know why that individual had not seen his child a week before Christmas? You know why? I love that dude. That's my man, 50 grand in the B-boy stand. But you know why? Because that dude allowed a piece of shit of a woman to make a liar out of him. People, I'm going to tell you something. I want you to listen to what I'm about to tell you. People, when you tell somebody something and they insist on trying to go against it, they don't respect you. It's a game to them. It's a game. So let me break it down to you like this. When you say something and somebody don't respect it, they will continue to be adamant about trying to get you to go against what you said. Once you go against what you said, they won't respect you, because now they figure, hey, I can just say this and play on his mentality. Now they made a liar out of you. People, nobody makes a liar out of Christopher Troy Smith. Nobody. I promise you. Nobody makes a liar out of me. I want to be clear on something. I listen to what people say and I respect what they say. And I say, okay, cool. Nobody's going to make a liar out of me. I counsel, I coach so many men that is in the with a woman, their wife, their girlfriend, child's mom. Why? The reason why they're getting their bunhole routed out is because they said, I'm not going to, you better not, and the woman did, and they said, I'm not going to, ended up doing, they said, you better not, and the woman did, and all these things, and the woman just sit down there, because that's what women do. This is why, if you watch the Avengers, this is the power of the Black Widow. I don't know if y'all realize that. What her power is she can get you to alter everything about you, tell her everything, this and all that, without you realizing you did it. Once a woman makes a liar out of you and a man makes a liar out of a woman, why should they respect you? Why? Why should you ever say anything and they believed you? They done made a liar out of you. Why? Explain that to me. Why? They done made a liar out of you. I realized the reason why I fought Atia LaShawn Bradley for 11 and a half years. You know why? Because I stood on nothing. Nothing at all. I stood on nothing. When you say something, if they love you, they know where it's coming from. But no, they'll flip it and make it seem like what you said. They don't know, come at you with all these things. Once again, if they love you, they know where it's coming from. If anything, when you say it, they should say, what are you, some type of whack job cuckoo? Why are you saying this? They know why you're saying it. They just don't want to, they want to make a lie out of you, people. Don't let nobody make a lie out of you. I told that individual across the street, listen, I don't talk to another man's woman. Well, my butt is big. I mean, you see all this? You're going to talk to me because you want to fuck me, right? If you want to fuck me, you're going to talk to me. So what? He comes over here. Look. Are we going to do this or not? That's what that was all about. Then the individual said, well, you didn't express that to me. I said, actually, I did. When I first met you, I said, the reason why I gave you cold hellos, I'm the new kid on the block. I don't want to speak to nobody's woman because I'm not trying to get put in a position where I got to pop off. I don't want no problems, people. I don't want no problems. I'm not walking around here like I'm the big bad Chris. But nobody makes a liar out of me. Nobody. I've done that. Been down that road before. We ain't doing that no more. I say what I mean what I say. As the great sister Shalakemia, Let me say it again. As the great sister Shalakemia said, I said what I said. I said what I said. Now, people, I'm going to tell you something. Once again, I keep this thing fresh because I don't need Atia Bradley or her daughter coming into me, flipping the script. Oh, I know it's been 12 years. We want to forget about what we did because you wasn't there. Here's what's not going to happen. Here's what's not going to happen. I am not going to have somebody approach me. Here's what's not going to happen. Appreciate those for y'all. Because people like to use time to forget what they did. I don't do that. You will answer to me what you did. I told my brother I will not have words with my mom until she confronts her demons. They ain't mine. But people like to use time and forget and then say the new problem now is not that we did you wrong. Here's what's not going to happen. I'm not going to have nobody approach me 15 years from now and say, why wasn't you there, Dad? Yeah. So what? I could have at least called you, sent you a text message. I wasn't even worth a text message, y'all. I mean, for crying out loud. Came an hour and 40 minutes. And people, you know how they tell you? You know how women like to say, don't tell Junior you're not coming if you're not coming. You know how that? People, it's the reverse for fathers, too. You see, Atia LaShawn Bradley had it set up to where as though I was the big bad guy, so we met at the school, so I couldn't go to her house. So let me just explain something to y'all. Let me tell you something. The grandest hurt and realized betrayal of your daughter that you can't nothing, you will never let nothing get close enough to do that to you again. People, you drive an hour and 40 minutes to go get your child. And then, so you got to pick them up at 3 o'clock. And then, check this out. You get there at 2:24. And then it's 2:56. And then now you're scooting up in a chair. You're like, okay, they should be coming. And then it's 3 o'clock. They don't come. Then it's 3:12. No show. Then it's 3:28. They don't show. You're looking at your phone. Maybe they called. You're checking your missed calls. And now it's 3:52. And you're saying to yourself, okay, I guess they ain't coming. So you start your car up and you're looking at every car that goes by, assuming the car broke down. That's the reason why. This is your brain playing so many stories on you. And you're like looking at every car. That's not them. And then that hour and 40-minute ride home, you're thinking that while you're on the highway, a car is pulling up beside you and they're going to be in the car like, no, pull over. We was late. I'm sorry. No. And then it's now, you decide to leave. It's now 4:09. And then you decide to leave. And then as you're driving home, it sinks in. People, I never in my life felt worthless in my life. I could have killed myself and it would have felt better. I'm gonna tell you something. It was pain like you will never ever feel in your life. It was hurt on a scale that could never ever exist anywhere else. People, let me tell you something about issues. If that would have happened, it wouldn't have hurt as much as how it actually happened. So let me give you an example. Let's just say you talking to somebody and they ask you a question. And then when you're talking, they cut you off. And then they cut you off, and then as they cut you off, you're like, well, let me talk. And then you're trying to talk, and they're like, wow, 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 and they're not letting you talk. The topic in which they did that on varies. Now, if they did that when they asked you to go get them some chocolate ice cream, that is not as bad as them constantly trying to do something to you, and you're saying, why are you constantly bringing this topic up? That cutting you off and wow and not letting you talk has a grand and a bigger significant meaning to it. I need y'all to follow me. So now, if Atia LaShawn Bradley and her daughter would have did that out of the blue, it wouldn't have hurt. But you put two and two together when the week before that, the 2 weeks before that, because I went the week before that, they didn't show. The week that I went and they did that, I actually went that was my third week in a row going, and they didn't show up. But the last time that I was with Atia LaShawn Bradley's daughter, her daughter said this. Oh yeah, Daddy, because I had Atia Bradley's daughter for the summer. And her daughter said to me this, oh yeah, Daddy, Mommy want me to go to summer camp. I said, young lady, it's time for you to transition from a little girl into a young lady. And by the way, your mother don't dictate to you what we do in the summertime. And then I guess Atia Bradley's daughter was like, really? Your daddy? You don't tell Mommy what she can't do. You don't tell Mommy. Mommy want me to go, so okay, no problem. Whatever, nigger. And then went with her mother, and her mother, I can hear Atia Bradley's voice now. Oh, so your daddy said what? You don't want to go? You don't want to go with your daddy in the summer? No, Mommy, I don't want to go with him. Okay, no, don't worry about it. You're not gonna go with him. That's what my brain told me would happen. And for that, it hurts on a scale. What's going on, Z? That is cataclysmic. Because I know them not showing up wasn't an accident. It was on purpose. People, I'm going to tell you something. I met a lot of people in life that, um, I met a lot of people in life that dated the wrong person, knew they dated the married the wrong person, excuse me, knew they married the wrong person. I met people that did crimes and knew the consequences of the crime, and jail time came knocking at their door. I met individuals that dropped out of high school and was didn't know how to get back into life. But people, I'm gonna tell you something. Nothing does it to you more when you didn't deserve nothing. Nothing does it to you more that when you done everything right in life by everything else, but when it comes to your child, you can do nothing wrong. I mean, no right. You can't do nothing right. This is why communication to me needs to be when you talk, I shut up. When I talk, you shut up. You will not patronize me. That's why communication is so significant to me. When it's done, my brain is starting to put a whole bunch of stuff with that. We need to back up off this and try this again. Nonetheless, but I'm sitting here tonight on the 8th of February, and I'm smiling about it because those were my pains that I grew from. And the beautiful thing about the pains that I grew from is that nothing can take me down that road again. I know the signs of that road. I've learned. And people, I'm here to tell you tonight, man, love feels so good. And when you have love, there's a certain harmony that goes with it. It's an understanding. Communication is a lot clearer when love is involved. When love is involved, communication flows. When love is involved, there is no way on this planet communication get twisted up. When love is involved, communication is welcomed. There's no manipulation. When an agenda is present, communication can't survive when an agenda is present. Okay? It can't. When love is the agenda, that's why individuals, when you show them good times, the communication is, what? Okay, let's go on that ride. Okay, cool. Okay, all right, blah, 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 blah. Then when it's, why can't we do that? Then it's like, well, I can't afford that right now. Well, such and such will do it for me. It's abrasive. Communication becomes abrasive because there's an agenda. It becomes abrasive. People, I love who I am. I wouldn't change who I am for the world. I won't. I will not. I will not change who I am for the world. I've been great to everybody that came into my life. And the biggest breakdown is communication. The biggest breakdown is agendas. The biggest breakdown is I'm never respected. I say what the fuck I mean what the fuck I say. That's not going to change. I'm 52 years old now. I got the rest of my life to live. That's going to be a part of it. I respect what's said, and I respect, and but what I said don't seem to be respected. Cool, cool. But I'm here to tell y'all tonight. Stop navigating yourself through life thinking that you need someone else's approval. Stay who you are because they're going to stay true to who they are. And that's just the truth. Um, I'm going to just go sidebar when I say this. People, I watched my dad. Um, hold on a second. I watched my dad. Um, I watched my dad. I watched life change. And this is what my dad taught me. Um, my dad taught me this. Um, this is what my dad taught me. Um, life, life, life changes, and as a person gets older, um, life changes, and as a person gets older, they get stuck in their ways and they don't want to change. You know, Jap had a thing on his channel, and he said, "Never date old women because they are too old to mold." And I was like, "Wow, that is a very unique perspective." But I'm gonna talk about my dad. My dad was too old to mold. My dad did not roll with the changes. Because of that, life gobbled my dad up in his last days. Life grabbed my father and spit him out like he was a POS. And as a wise man, because remember, a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from others' mistakes. I'm an extremely wise man. I learned a lot from my dad, my brothers. This is why I'm the way I am. I want to be clear. You don't think that I would love to go across the street and bang that chick? Yeah, I would love to. But the problem is, I'm going to invite a lot more in my life than I want. That's something that I learned from my brother. You don't think that there was a point in time in me a couple of years back when I was like, I want a kid so bad. Hell, I'm gonna just go out and just bang about 10 chicks. I'm gonna just go out and bang like 10 chicks, and one of them gonna get pregnant. Did I do that? No. I seen that my dad. What happened when my dad did that? So a wise man learns from others' mistakes. Smart man learns from his own. I'm both. Nonetheless, my dad taught me, don't be too old to mold. Stay open-minded. People, at 51 years old, I met a woman and fell in love with her. I'm still able to do that. In addition to that, I got far with a woman than any woman that I've dated in the last 30 years. You know why? Because I left myself open and I changed. And although I see a lot of flaws with that individual, I don't say anything, even though they think I do. I don't say nothing. But that's what happens when you're not too old to mold. That's what happens. This is why me and a cat that I was in the military with, this is the reason why me and him can't be friends no more. That dude is just old. That dude just shut down all open-mindedness. He's closed-minded. He is done. He's a bum. He's raggedy. Oh, don't get me started. But I can go down the list of individuals that I see today that you can't tell them nothing. They're so stuck in their ways. They think they're flexible, and they're not. They're not. They don't listen. You tell them one little thing, they get offended. Yeah. Don't realize that they need to be open-minded so they can grow. Closed-minded. Don't say things like us. They say, like, this is what I've been doing for the longest. Don't understand that it's you want to bring somebody in your life. You got to cut down at what you've been doing and start really morphing into how we should do things. I watched life eat my dad up. My dad was trying to do 1970s and 2000. Don't work, Chief. Don't work. That's what my dad, I watched. I watched a man who was using a late 1960s, early 70s blueprint on hustling in 2005. It wasn't working. But you know why it wasn't working? Because he wasn't open-minded. And when you're closed-minded, you miss a lot. You need to listen. The beautiful thing about being open-minded is you don't use your mouth as much. You use your ears more. When you're open-minded, you go into this learn phase. When you're closed-minded, you got an answer waiting for somebody. As soon as they finish talking, you jump out at them on some bullshit, and they're like, well, I wasn't talking about that. I said that. Oh, closed-minded. Don't be too old to mold. Last year, I dated one individual that was in their 30s and two individuals that was in their 20s. And when I don't mean dated, I met them, I talked to them. And do you know the one thing that all three of them had in common? All three of them. When I said something to them, they said, okay, thanks for telling me that. I'll work on that. I was shocked. But you know why they said that? Because they didn't get beat up by life. They were still open-minded. Stay open-minded, y'all. It's a beautiful thing when you do. You don't know it all. The perspective in which you used on Joe Schmo don't work on Larry. The perspective that you used on Joanne, Shaquita likes it a little different. The song, I believe it went something like this: love me in a special way. What worked so well for you before, for me, simply just won't do. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Love me now. Good night, y'all. See y'all tomorrow at 7.